Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Toonkind at 12 FPS. This is Whatcha Dune? Um, with myself and my lovely co-host. I'm Oatmeal, and would you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Avi. Today I'm going to be playing a certain space Vulpine named Vulp because of course he is.
And I will be playing another alien named the Professor. Well, called the Professor. Um, Yeah. So what's Vulpine doing? Because he doesn't live on Zatori, does he?
He does not. Okay, so every time I think about what he's doing,
Mm-hmm.
all I can think of is he's camping out. I don't have an XP name for the R wing, but he's kind of like camping out in the R wing,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which is his spaceship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and he's essentially been told, "Hey, the war fucking sucked. You need to take a break." And now that like he's here taking a break,
Trying to
he doesn't know
adjust.
what he's doing.
Yeah, trying to adjust to civilian life.
um so he's been kind of like picking up odd jobs every so often,
Keep himself
trying to
busy.
see keep himself busy. Um he probably goes around looking for those like job listings, you know how it is.
Yeah. 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 What do you think he's up to right now that the professor ends up running into him? Which honestly could be anything because the professor gets around.
I think it would be really funny if it was just him staring at a job listing. Like
Oh,
one of those boards that has like a whole
yeah.
bunch of flyers and shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Honestly, that's entirely fair. I think the professor probably checks those out on occasion as well. Just to see what's up. Um uh but yeah, Vulpine is looking at these advertisements, and some of them are for odd jobs like help me move, next week, or um, I need somebody for a few weeks in such and such, retail job, or and some of them are like I think some of them are maybe slightly misplaced, but the spirit is still there. Like adventuring type jobs. Like uh,
Yeah.
it's like no, there's another board for that, but not everybody realizes. So some of
I
them
feel
end up
like
on this one.
in a town like Toontown that is
Yeah,
bound to happen.
yeah, yeah. So this is like. I need somebody to be a guard for my wagons as we, cross this big plane or something. Um,
As we travel across the continent.
yeah. Um, but Vulpine is looking these over, and uh, somebody comes down the walkway and stops to look as well. Tall fella. Um, and he just kind of stands beside him and peers at the board, kind of rocks at his heels. Huh, nothing particularly interesting right now, is there?
Uh Volp's one of Volp's ears twitch as he starts speaking and he looks in your direction. Um and he goes, not really.
Hmm. Hmm. Bit of a dry spell right now. Although, that does remind me. Hmm. Do you. He sort of looks at him, uh, And like, he looks like a anthropomorphic fox guy, right? Is he like
Yeah,
CGIing?
he's like he's a real kind.
Oh, he's okay.
Um he's a real kind. He's like if a tabaxi were a fox.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got it.
Mhm.
Okay, interesting. Um, he sort of tilts his head. He goes like, "Do you live around here?"
Uh no, I'm just visiting.
Mm.
You're looking at him,
Mm-hmm.
Professor.
Yeah.
What's your passive perception?
His passive's a 14.
Okay. I think this one would be hard to miss at the
Mm.
very least.
Okay.
Um two things.
Yeah.
Uh this anthropomorphic fox that you're looking at. He seems to be wearing what you think are metal boots at first.
Mm.
But you see with the way he kind of like shifts his weight, they look a little bit odd.
Mm.
Um but additionally, there's an insignia on his outfit. I need to find his reference again, actually. Give me 1 second.
Uh-huh.
There he is. There's my boy. There's a an insignia on the on his kind of like
Mm. Shoulder?
left yeah, left shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Hmm.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of a red fox face.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Hmm.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, the professor has traveled far.
Yes, very. And I think we established in a admittedly non-canon ask question that he's been at least to the system he's from briefly.
Yeah. Do you want to roll a history?
Yes, I would love to draw. I would love to do a history. Oh shit. Okay. Let's see what that adds up to with his modifier. That is a. Your modifier's right. That's what I thought it was. Shit. That's a 26.
Okay. Um. How do I put this into words? The insignia on this guy's shoulder
Mm.
belongs to a military trained mercenary group
Mm.
called Star Vulpine,
Mm-hmm.
who in a far off system known as the Syringa system,
Mm-hmm.
um, helped fend off several attacks from multiple armies. The fox you are talking to is the guy who won the Syringa War.
Oh boy. Oh my goodness. That's really fun. He recognizes who this is. God. Oh my gosh. Um uh all right, let's see. Are you smart enough not to blurt this out, or okay, he got a 17 whiz save, so he doesn't like immediately say like, I know who you are and where are you from. um so he just sort of like tilts his head in the opposite direction and goes like, you're probably from pretty far away.
I'm trying trying to decide what's the funniest approach to this. Because I could have him be like, what? um, or I could just straight up have it just go over his head.
Either one works. Either one works. I mean, if he just says what, the professor will just be like, well, to not be able to find something interesting to do in Toontown, of all places.
I think he just goes, no, I'm from really far away.
Well, if you're looking for something to do... Does it have to be work?
He kind of brings a hand over to his face and, like, rubs it down his snout.
Uh-huh.
You know, like, rubs at his eyes and then pulls it down his snout.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, that is probably the shadiest thing you could have asked me.
Look, I know how to find things to do here, and if it has to be work, then that's going to limit your options. But if you're just looking for something interesting to do, something fun, then that'll open up your possibilities.
Okay, I think he will actually insight, because oh my god.
Yeah, by all means.
Oh. Vulp is level 5. Oh my god.
Ooh. I'll take that
not
into
bad.
consideration.
That wasn't that bad.
Oh no, are you kidding? That's fantastic. That was a great roll. Yeah, he's not suggesting shady business or anything underhanded, and he's not like, what he's saying could be used as like a euphemism for something else, but it's not. He's literally just like enthusiastic about this place and is kind of acting like a concierge would, like the person at a hotel who, like, their job is to know everything about the place, to tell you where things are to do.
Alright.
So he's what he's saying, you could take it at face value.
Okay, let me figure out how he words this. It's been so long since I've played Vulp. He kind of just looks up at you, like the most like kind of like almost incredulous, almost bemused
Uh-huh.
look on his face before he goes, all right, sure.
Professor sort of undercuts his credibility after that insight by very pleased, sort of like clapping his hands together and rubbing them together and like grinning.
This man is not helping his case.
No. All right. Well, he thinks about what he knows that this guy can do, like just, based on context clues, not because he knows him personally. And he's like, I know something that might be interesting to him. Well, if you're willing to skip work and try something fun, um, I know there's this event going on in the Worn Desert. Um, and I think you'd really enjoy it.
Event?
Mm-hmm. Come on. And he's going to start walking to the he's going to start walking to the teleportation station, gesturing for him to follow.
So fucking funny. Professor didn't even introduce himself
No.
yet. Just hear Volp let out the most exasperated sigh. And it's like the expression of, oh, what have I got myself into? Before he just follows after you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep. He's just, happily walking over to the teleportation station, and as they're going, he says, um, I'm the professor. Who might you be?
Volp, just the professor?
Just the professor.
Volp's been in Toontown for a while now. he's like at the point where like this might as well happen.
Mm-hmm. Professor kind of waffles, and he's just like, well, just. It's more that I'm the definite article.
Huh?
The professor, if you will.
Right.
No surname required.
I just hate... I'm trying to figure out how, like, not only has Volp been in Toontown for a while,
Mm-hmm.
he also knows pretty eccentric people.
Yeah. That's fair. Oh no, more of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it should also be noted that, like, while otherwise he's dressed fairly well, it's a little eccentric, but otherwise, eccentric professor look, sure. But, like, lots of pins on his coat, and also an absurdly long scarf that is kind of trailing on the ground a little bit.
How is this guy not tripping on it?
Right? But yeah, no, he leads him to the teleportation station, and he's just going to, um, he's going to pay for them to, take a teleport to the Worn Desert, um, through one of the like adjacent. I did look it up. There's a few very like close by slash inside, uh, teleportation stations there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. And he just stands on the circle as the attending wizard casts a spell, and he's just like grinning the whole time. Very much the vibe of like a dog who's like very excited to show you something it found.
Hysterical because the furry is Volp.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think part of the reason why he's not more concerned
Mhm.
is because he 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 does have a weapon with him.
Yeah, he can take care
And
of
not
himself.
yeah. So like even if this was shady, he could probably like knock you flat in like at least 5 different ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably eyeing the scarf is one of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. um, yeah, so they get to the Worn Desert, and Professor leads them to a uh, probably not too far uh, to a area that's like just adjacent to like a huge stretch of just desert. Um, and there's like a bunch of people gathered there with various vehicles. Mostly some like proper road cars, but most of them are like four wheelers, ATVs, uh, dune buggies. What's the other? Rail car is the other word. Some motorcycles, particularly um, like off road racing type things.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, and there's a lot of people and a lot of vehicles, and there's like this uh, there's on some of the dunes within view, there are absolutely visible like tire tracks. Um, uh, so yeah. The professor just sort of like grins back at Vulp, and then like beelines for a some sort of like registration booth.
You brought me to a motherfucking race. I mean, he does seem to perk up when he realizes that like these are like much more recreational vehicles in the sense, but like
Mm-hmm.
specifically for off-roading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Can I copy this image? I'm gonna try to put a few references. This one is Scopo. Because this is a reference of um, let's see. Actually, the second one is too. Let's see here. Ba ba ba. I didn't have these prepared. Oh, that's not right. Hang on. Can I? Nope, I can't. Um, will it only let me do one picture at a time? Hang on. Oh, duh. I did it wrong. Technical difficulties. I'm just having a moment. Well, I put pictures of cars in the chat. Alright, at least I pulled these up ahead of time. So I can, it's just a matter of pasting them in. Ba 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 ba. That one. Okay. Almost. Almost there. And that's all of them. Okay. Alright, these are kind of... Alright, these are some of the vehicles there, including these are for people who can't see the visuals. It's a bunch of dune buggies and rail cars that I've put up here. A lot of them sort of vintage looking, because Inkwell isn't up to like our technology exactly. Um, But particularly, the one car up here is an animated one with a face and eyes. It is an anthropomorphic dune buggy from the Hanna-Barbera cartoon Speed Buggy. Um,
Oh my god.
so that's my one reference. And then there's a rail car that like normally it's just two people in one of those cars. It's very bare bones. It's like wheels, steering wheel, engine, and like a bunch of pipes just kind of connecting everything together. Like it's just a frame. There's no plating. One of them, is a regular sort of rail car, and the other one is like a rail car bus. Very non traditional. Like, this is clearly some sort of custom job, but like, there are a bunch of, there are a bunch of rabbits in this very long. It looks like this racing is sort of some sort of family affair. Um, so they needed a lot more seats. um, yeah, and then there's one particularly very sleek buggy that looks like it's really fancy and expensive and maybe a little less practical uh, as a racing vehicle.
Real.
But it's pretty.
Yeah.
um, so the professor signs them up for the race, and basically like uh, out of the vehicles, like they're given a helmet each, and they get to pick what type of vehicle they'd like to drive out of. Um, let's see, not the. Okay, granted, most of these are probably animated realistically. Give this being Inkwell, but
Yeah.
out of the pictures I put up, um, not the one from the cartoon, and not counting the one from the cartoon, and not counting the sort of bus one. The other four are all options to drive. And the professor just sort of looks them over, um, kind of gives the fancy one a sort of like sort of look, but then turns to Vulp like, well, which one of these would you prefer we use? For the race that I've just signed us up for.
Of course you did. And he says that kind of like with a chuckle. I'm God. See, if it was just Volk, he would go for the rail car.
Uh-huh.
Cause like that seems dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
but he's kind of into it.
Yeah. They do also make ones that have a windshield at least. The one I have pictured here doesn't have a windshield because it's for like leisurely beach. Well, okay, maybe not completely, but it's for beach driving. They're on a shore.
Mhm.
Whereas like desert racing ones usually at least have a windshield.
Yeah,
So you can modify it a little bit off of what's pictured. This is just sort of like an idea of the variety.
you know what?
Mm,
I think he will go for the rail car.
hell yeah. Nice.
Just points to it and goes, that one.
Nice. Good choice. Very light. Decent suspension. Going to need that.
I know my vehicles.
Hmm?
I know my vehicles, that's what he said.
Good. Very good. Um, So, they get to like check out their car. It's in good shape. Um, it belongs to somebody else, but like this is a sort of like hey, have a bunch of kind of newbies like join in for a race, like a little sort of it's like it's not just the professionals, but like it's I don't know why my mind went to this, but like open skate, like not couple skate, not like
Oh,
not
yeah.
yeah. It's like okay, everybody gets a turn, even the uh even people who have never done this before. It's rookie hour, whatever. But like but like also, taking into acknowledgement that like yeah, some people will go backwards when they wanted to go forwards, and other people will just tear it up out there on their first try. So like they understand what they're getting themselves into. Um but yeah, there's like a loudspeaker. Somebody is animatedly announcing like the premise of the race and like the boundaries of like where they're actually allowed to race. Uh there is uh there is a perimeter, and like they have a team on hand to like help if if somebody gets you know knocked over or flips or whatever. But these are also pretty small light cars, so like uh, the any accidents that do happen are not gonna be as crazy as like NASCAR. Um, at least in this race, I'm kind of talking out my ass. Like I kind of just researched this in the last few days.
Honestly, more effort than I did.
Hey, that's fair. I mean, I was the one who suggested it. But yeah, so they're like, okay, you can go just like pretty you can stick to like the easy mode track, or you could try the sort of advanced track, and uh, there will be a few professionals going over, doing some like cool stuff. So if you wanted to stand by and watch, you could do that. Um, uh, there will be things like a wall, like a hill climb, like there's a dune at like a 45-degree angle. Um,
Holy shit.
yeah, and then there's another one that's like 75 degrees. um, and then there are a few that are like really good for doing tricks off of. Um, there's already a few people like especially the people with motorcycles, like popping wheelies and stuff, just messing around. Um, so yeah, you are encouraged to have fun, uh, but also if you can get through the course, um, basically the fastest, and with extra points for finesse or like tricks or something, uh you you get bragging rights and some kind of prize. It's not like a cash prize. I'm thinking um
just just a oh god, what's the word? Um some kind of trophy.
yeah, yeah.
Like a oh, there's a specific word I'm thinking of, but it's not coming to me. Oh, it'll probably come to me after,
Like
I
a
guess, yes.
chalice sort of looking thing.
Probably, but I'm thinking of like you know when you have an item
Mm.
that's like very specific to an event,
Yeah.
um, and my brain keeps going to honorary. It's not honorary,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like it's specific to the event. You can only get it at the event.
Oh, okay, so like a Super Bowl ring type deal.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. A specific, okay, yeah, there's um, some sort of, oh, what kind of item? Um, fucking, I don't know, a cool helmet. Yeah, let's do that. Um,
Plated gold. No.
God. It might have some glossy like gold dunes painted on it, but it's not real gold.
Yeah.
um, okay, so they get in the car and they're encouraged to sort of like putter around before the race starts,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be soon. So Professor is kind of like, after inspecting the car and checking it out and making sure it works, he's like, so do you want to drive or shall I?
Oh, you dragged me out here. I'm driving.
All right.
Uh, so Wolf does have proficiency in like land vehicles.
Hell yeah. Good. Professor
Uh,
doesn't.
um, what role would this even be?
Probably, for like general like speed, for like how well they go through the track, maybe like maybe just the um uh
Just Dex.
like dex plus your vehicle proficiency, and then
Yeah.
like if you decide to do like either attempt the wall climb, the hill climb, or do any tricks, then that would be like either dex or strength, probably depending on the trick. And the ones I've seen people do are like wheelies, uh, the hill climb, like I said, a sort of uh, okay, maybe these are ones these are ones that I've seen motorcycles do, but I think in Toonland they can probably pull them off with those dune buggies. Um, a sort of like aileron roll, which is not the same as a barrel roll because you don't actually change in altitude, but like, you spin it sideways and come back up. A 360, which is like you spin, you know, uh, nose to tail,
Mhm.
and come back out. Drifting, of course, gonna be plenty of that on the dunes, and like a backflip. So like the stuff that's in you would know this, the stuff that's in like Mario Kart 8 and stuff.
Yeah.
The kind of bullshit they get up to.
It's not anything that's like um I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. Mario Kart 8 stunts don't like look too big, but if
Mm-hmm.
you were like a professional
Mm-hmm.
like doing stuff like this, you would be like, "Oh, holy shit."
Oh yeah. It is hard to just flip upside down and then right side up again, and yet
Mhm.
you have Peach doing it in 2 seconds and going yay. Um, like that's fucking tricky and dangerous.
Real.
um, it's hard to do in a motorcycle, and much less like a cart.
Yeah.
um,
Um,
mm.
yeah.
So do you want to do the speed roll first, and then
Yeah.
we'll see. I'll kind of like throw options at you, and we'll see which ones Volp wants to take.
Yeah. We'll
Cool.
see. Oh shit.
Ooh, a 21. Oh, that's good. Uh, they get a fantastic start. They some of the other cars are like kicking up like a ton of sand and not really going anywhere. Some of them kick up a bunch of sand and like blast off. Um, but like the professor and Volp don't kick up too much sand, and like they basically get a good grip like right away and kind of like zoom right up the first dune.
Hmm.
And it's crazy fast, and there's there's a windshield in front of you, but you can still feel from the sides and everything like the the wind in your face, in your fur, um, and I I
It's
I think at the display of like just sheer like gunning it, the professor just bursts out laughing. Like,
yeah, Volp is like grinning the moment like he takes off, and
mhm.
like Professor starts laughing, and Volp is just like, "Hold on to your scarf."
Yeah, he reels that in and like probably tucks it into his coat. Let's not have that hazard.
Real.
Oh, so yeah, you we get like a fantastic head start. And we come across, you get sort of the regular sort of like up and down, like bouncing between like some of the smaller dunes and like dips, like almost like a slalom in like skiing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and and then I think there's probably like a really good lead up to a pretty much like a good sort of ramp shaped dune where like there's uh kind of a kind of a decent space behind it where like you could feasibly get some decent air and do a trick of some sort. Would you like to attempt a trick or just go over this one normally?
I think he would. I think he would attempt a trick. I just have to figure out what exactly he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately all tricks went out of my head.
The ones I have are wheelie, which might be better for a long like a flat stretch. Uh, hill climb would be you need a hill. The aileron roll, which is like roll to the side.
Mhm.
360 roll um, nose to tail. Backflip is the other one, and just a big old jump. Um, could
I think he might just go for the jump.
nice.
Uh,
Just get some distance, get some height, get some air.
real.
Uh
Also, I did miscalculate
oh
Volp's bonus,
oh yeah.
because what is it? His Dex plus proficiency, that would be a +6, not a +3, so that would have been
Ooh,
a
25?
24.
24? Ooh, that's good. Yeah, no, they're doing fantastic. They're going really fast.
It's not quite space flight, but
No. Nah.
Volp's having fun. Uh
Nice.
Big jump though.
Yeah, for a
Is
big
that
jump, I would say probably, um, for that one, I'm gonna say strength. Um,
alrighty? I feel like I should say, for the record, Volp is mechanically a fighter, so he's got
nice.
pretty decent strength.
Yay.
Nice.
A 22. Yeah, that's That's fantastic. You, I think the way it's set up is like, there's this really cool ramp, and then like, most people would land, and then like there's another sort of smaller ramp after it that some people can like, jump and do a mini jump. We kind of go over both of them um, onto the next landing spot. Like we get major air.
Of insane air.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. um.
Just hear loud cackling from Vulp.
Yeah, Professor is also like grinning, totally enjoying himself. Um, let me see. There's probably a stretch after that. We could try like a wheelie.
Oh my god. Okay. The Dex or strength.
That one, that one's probably gonna be strength too.
Okay. Because you do have to lift the entire fucking thing.
Yeah, you kind of have to like shift your weight and shit.
Okay, well. I mean, it's decent.
A 14 is good. I think Volp manages to pop a wheelie. Uh, probably got the front wheels like 4 or 5 feet in the air for
Hmm.
a solid like 3 or 4 seconds. Um, before sort of bouncing back down and sort of settling back down onto the ground. Um,
It's not a landmaster. It doesn't have the boosters under the tracks.
yeah, yeah. It's a very good wheelie. There have people have done it better, but especially since this is the first time in this vehicle, it's quite good. It's still better than most of the people on the track are doing.
It must be like so far ahead too.
Absolutely. There's like maybe one like buggy keeping pace, and it's like one of the racers who's like supervising. They're there to make sure if somebody spins out, then they.
You can like check up on them.
Yeah, exactly. um. Let me see. Uh. What is there any other tricks that you wanna stick in here? We can go with rule of three. Have a third trick. Um,
I gotta do it. I,
yeah.
I gotta I gotta do the aileron roll.
Hell yeah. All right.
The, the funny thing is that in they call it a barrel roll, but
Mm.
it's not a barrel roll.
It's actually an aileron roll.
Yeah,
Mm.
because like
I didn't know that.
this was an entire thing with the community like years and years ago.
Right. The
Yeah,
it's what's said in the game is barrel roll, but like that's not a barrel roll.
yeah.
Yeah, that happens. uh, let's see. Yeah, for that one, I think the setup would be something like uh, sort of like there's a dune, but like you have to approach it at like a decent sort of ramp. That like you have to take it at sort of an angle.
Yeah.
So you probably um, probably like speed up it, hit it at like a bit of an angle, and then like flip around doing this roll. You have just enough air to sort of complete this trick. Um, oh wait, we should probably roll for it again. This one,
Yeah.
if you could do Dex.
Dex, you got it.
Yeah.
All right. Oh God, my computer just lagged for a second. There we go.
Whoop. Oh, an 18. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Um, yeah. Handily completes this aileron roll. And just kind of flips the buggy around, and like you're just back to upright when sort of bounce onto the ground again,
Mm.
and you kind of have to like turn quickly so that you get sort of going straight again and don't just continue rolling in the sand.
Yeah.
um, yeah, but it's really good, and I think since there are a bunch of people watching, that one absolutely gets a cheer because I think that's very impressive. um,
How's Prop doing?
Prof is great. He's just enjoying himself. He's probably uh, probably like helped like instigate or like suggest some of these, like, hey, look over there. Like, wouldn't that be great for this? um but yeah, he's good. He's enjoying this. Like every once in a while, just sort of like cackling.
There's this like intense look on Volp's face. I'm trying to figure
Mm,
out like how to describe it.
like
He's
focus.
grinning. He's like focused, but he's
Mm.
grinning like so widely.
Oh, good. Oh man. Do you want to give it one more speed roll and see how they do? Though I think
I
they've been doing fantastic so far. So
I would love to.
awesome.
Okay. On the dice, that's a 10.
Mm.
B, that would be 6. Okay. Yep. 16.
All right, 16. Yeah, that's good. We've uh uh we we're still going pretty dang fast. um yeah, and we're uh absolutely the first ones, given our like track record so far, especially our really good start. Um and the first stunt, like, we're well ahead of everybody else. Um so we cross the finish line, um and and people are like cheering, and like after a few, a solid 20 seconds, the rest of the cars start to like come into the to the finish line as well. um um but yeah, we sort of drive off to the side and get out of the car. Professor takes his helmet off, and just kind of leans against the car, and just just like looks up at the sky and just like lets out a huge laugh. Like he's just having so much fun.
think Volp does like also get out, take off his helmet, tosses it like on the seat of the car, and like
Mm-hmm.
just kind of takes like a step away so he can like stretch out his legs
Mm-hmm.
because oh,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Probably pretty tense most of the. Oh, that was excellent. Ooh, you are good.
oh no, I'm better than good.
I agree. I agree. Uh, they get given this. They get given their. They turn in the car and the helmets, and they get given this. That these two. Really quite nice looking racing helmets with gold dunes painted on them. Um, and there's a cheer from the crowd. um, and then I think the professor just takes Volp to one of the there's probably like a tent with refreshments and like food and stuff, a bit off to the side.
Okay, good because he's furry
Mm-hmm,
in
mm-hmm.
the desert.
Yeah, oh absolutely. Yeah. There's I mean, heck, there's probably like a small station set up where like if you need to like there's ones at the edge of the beach sometimes where like if you need to like shower the sand off of you.
Mm.
But yeah, or since they're tunes, there might just be like a really powerful blow dryer.
God.
uh, I think for flavor, I think the very like long sort of bus, um, the sort of bus shaped uh, rail car probably
Mm.
came in last because it's a big old thing.
It's so big.
And I think the the sort of Hanna Barbera styled um, anthropomorphic car probably somewhere in the middle. The sort of funny gang of friends that drives that car uh, might have got distracted by something, but they got back in and got fast enough to not be last.
That's really funny to me.
Hmm.
Ugh. Wolf probably does just like run under the shower really quick, and
Mm-hmm.
he's just handing me shaking.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense.
God, just he shakes and there's like a spray of water
Uh-huh.
for a second before he just kind of like lets himself soak like that.
uh, yeah. Yeah, Professor got lucky. His hair was under the helmet, and uh, he's wearing a decent amount of clothes, so, like, his
Mhm.
clothes are a little sandy now, but,
Gritty.
yeah, a little bit. Oh. Oh, there you are. Did you have fun?
Ugh, most fun I've had in a while.
Good.
So do you normally do this? Just take random people out on trips like this?
Sometimes. I Um, I took a princess out one time.
Princess.
Looking for a break from her royal duties.
Wolf, Wolf, Wolf has this sigh. There's no words with it, but it's like the John Mulaney bit. You know those days where you're just like, this might as well happen. I
Yeah.
feel it's already so goddamn weird.
Uh huh. Professor kind of like notices and like grins again. Like, it doesn't happen all the time, but I mean, what can I say? I'm very friendly and I know how to have a good time. There's little point in keeping that to myself. I think I should share it.
You know, at this point, I was just thinking it was all of Inkwell.
uh, uh, yeah, Anquil is kind of like this, isn't it? But no, me, I'm not from here. I'm just enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. From very far away, too.
Yes, from very far away, too. Maybe even farther than you.
Well, you can't just say that. You can't just say that. Oh my god.
He's just got kind of like a playful uh grin.
Yeah, I think it just kind of grabs, like, water,
Uh-huh.
to, like, actually drink.
Yeah, absolutely. hmm. Hmm. What do you normally do if you're on some sort of break? Visiting, you said.
Um, Contract work, mostly.
Mm,
Uh, Technically speaking, I'm a soldier.
alright. He sort of like takes another look at him like and just sort of nods like, yeah, he kind of has the look. He's got a uniform jacket.
um, I'm kind of interested to see if Professor would get this.
Mm.
Do you want to roll a quick perception?
Yeah. Oh God. Well, that was a terrible roll. Um, that's less than his passive. That's 7.
Damn.
Yeah.
It really is such a shame. Oh well.
Yeah, it's all right.
um, for the audience, Volp has his lower portion of his legs, below the knee. They look like metal boots. Those are actually prosthetics.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to figure out what else Volp would say. But lately,
Hmm.
General just told me to take a break, so I did. And so here I am.
Well, good. It's good to take a break, especially from soldier things. He kind of there's sort of like a sort of like look on his face, like a like, yeah, that's a thing you can kind of need a break from.
Volp just kind of shrugs at that.
I guess you like your job?
More like I don't really know much of anything else.
Oh, oh. Hmm. That's fair. It's uh, good to try out the rest of the world every once in a while.
I suppose.
You don't have to decide on it in the end, but good to try, I think. You've got stuff like this. She gestures at this sort of rally they're at. It's not all boring housework and desk jobs.
Well, sure. And I guess if you really want to know much about a place, you actually have to really live there than just look at job listings.
Hmm.
I haven't been here that long, so I
Hmm.
didn't even know about this place. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's it's a nice place. Lots of things to do here, and I find the people are very kind. Generally.
and Wolf kind of nods in agreement to that.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Any idea when you're going back, or no particular plans?
He kind of like tilts his head up like he's looking up at the sky, but they're under a tent.
Yeah.
So it's like a very odd move on his part, and he just kind of goes, "Nope, no plan."
Mm-hmm. Well, that's fair. It could be nice not having a plan, just kind of going with whatever comes next.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It's so funny because Volp keeps handing me things in response, but they're all things he would not say to a person he just met.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Yeah, that's fair. Not all characters just open up immediately.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, it can be. Yeah, I suppose it can be interesting, sort of being set loose when you're used to being told where to be and what to do and how to do it.
Something like that. I guess I'm just not used to not having something big right in front of me.
Hmm. Hmm. Some sort of uh, conflict or cause or project, some problem.
Something like that.
Hmm. I suppose that sounds about right. Hmm.
You do a lot of traveling yourself?
I
Said you're
do.
not from here.
I do a lot of traveling, absolutely. Um, I've been hanging around here for a while lately, but I do travel quite a lot. have done for most of my life.
Hmm.
Don't really settle, just sort of go from place to place.
Do you mostly just stick around here then, or
Um,
traveling all
I.
over?
Hmm. Well, I. Hmm. I was uh, stuck here for a bit when my primary means of transportation had some issues, but I do really like it here, so I do keep coming back here. But now that my vehicle's fixed, I have been able to get back to traveling. It's just that, well, I've never, and I don't think I want to, completely leave this place alone. Not for a very long time, at least. I like it. I'm going to keep coming back here in between other ventures. I wouldn't call it settling, but I don't know. Just means I've got a new favorite place.
Has anyone ever told you you're a really weird guy?
Yes, I think most people I meet end up saying something like that.
Well, I would say it would go without saying, but
Thank you for joining me on this this fun little jaunt.
oh, thank you for dragging me out here. I think I probably would have gone stir crazy if I didn't find something.
I know that feeling. Hmm. Yeah, there is the odd jobs board, but well, if you like action, you might have a little more luck uh, uh, checking out the sort of local adventurers guild postings. Some of
Hmm.
them are still going to be boring to you, but others, I mean, some of them, I'm sure, have to involve going very, very fast.
You know, I might look into that.
Mm. I ended up sort of getting involved. Well, it was through a posting, technically. He sort of shakes his head. Not through a job posting board, but let's see. I got involved in. Uh, I get involved, I should say, in a lot of uh, local happenings, events. Local being this continent. Um, Involving myself in a detective agency of all things, in UPA.
You don't really strike me as an investigative sort.
Was that do or don't?
Don't.
Maybe not. I'm certainly not the best there is. I'm uh, I'm good at looking at so I'm he just sort of like puts his hand on his face, like, all right, nope.
You want to try that again?
Take two. Um, I I have decent observational skills that and intelligence and sort of specialized knowledge that can be useful on a case, but uh, I'm not the certainly not the best man they have when it comes to noticing things or indeed uh, knowing what the laws are.
Right.
Hmm. Well, hey, if you do ever find yourself in need of help, there's the Adventurers Guild, sure, but um, you could you could see about especially if especially if it involves a mystery of some sort. Um, uh, Detective Moria's um, detective agency in Villestown, UPA. There's a bunch of good people there. They put up with my nonsense and let me come along on adventures.
Hmm. Hmm. He kind of slow nods at that. He's also not an investigative sort.
Yeah, he does kind of like wave his hand and like it's not everybody's bag, but I mean, if you run into a mystery,
Right.
which knowing this place is rather a bit more likely than you might imagine otherwise.
Seems like it happens every other day.
That's about how often it seems to happen, yes. He's thinking of Camille in particular.
You can't bully him. He's not here.
He's not. No. Uh, no, but there's
Okay.
plenty else to do.
Mhm.
Well, out of character, if you like, we could probably wrap it out from about there and just say they chat a bit more.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, cool. All right. Thank you so much for doing this FPS with me.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yee, it was fun. All right. With that, that's going to do it for us, and I'm going to thank future listeners, um, and wish you all a good time zone. Bye bye.
Bye.